Welcome back, Sports This Morning. We're broadcasting live from our sports center in Lagos, Nigeria. Guys, let's talk about the Copa America. What's going on?
Okay, it is shocking. I mean, some actually say, okay, the goal was a kind of a bit controversial, disputed goal and all that.
Yeah.
But forget it. The thing is, Brazil, I mean, our country, they've won the Copa America like 8 times, right?
Yeah, but that's not what really matters. When was the last time they won it?
2007.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Venezuela, that's ages ago.
So
it's not good enough.
To win this one.
They're out.
The first time
That's the story. They're out.
1987. This is the first time they're knocked out of this championship. The win, I keep saying, you know, you talked about the fact that when you rely so much, exactly, on one player. When was the last time you have a Brazilian national team relying on a single player? I can't remember the last time that's happened. Recently, it happened in 2014. They actually,
you know, team.
Exactly, they were
come out scary.
Yeah, from goalkeeper to striker.
Straight up.
I mean, from top row to Ronaldo up front.
Wow.
You know, from
something is wrong.
Yeah, something is fundamentally wrong.
How could Brazil not qualify from that group?
From that
I was
group,
looking
I mean,
at that, was like, okay, fine. I mean, okay, who is in there? Right,
that's not good enough at all. I mean, they've got the likes of 80. Okay, yeah, that was the only game they managed to win. They beat 80, but I mean, Nigeria beat 80 6-1.
Exactly.
So that's not exactly the big deal. But seriously, Dunga is under a lot of pressure right now.
They go less with Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Beat 80 and lost to Peru.
Okay, nice. It's not good enough.
Dunga.
I won't be surprised if he gets his P45 at the end. Okay, the tournament is over for them already. I won't be surprised if he gets it on returning to Brazil. It's not good enough.
But let's find excuses for Coach Dunga.
What was the excuse?
6 major players, first out of competition due to injuries.
Yes. But that's not enough
Brazil.
to go out.
I said it that you could go to Santos and pick players that will get out of that group.
Saying, so no excuses at all.
Squad, right? I mean, when he started, even the players that got injured, the ones he brought in were part of those players he has called up before. So you definitely know the pool of players you have. Talked about Santos. I mean, if you pick 11 players from Santos,
they should be able to represent Brazil really well.
I know Brazil weren't going to go far in the tournament. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but not
going out of the groups,
especially
within Group Haiti, Peru, Brazil, Ecuador, and you can go out. Okay, that's the end for them.
Yeah. Dunga. I don't envy him right now.
I know. I'm trying to understand it, you know, like Brazil's out of the Copa America at a time when, you know, a lot of football fans are saying this competition will make them forget what happened at the World Cup back home, you know, and now this.
And we're trying to look for excuses and all those injuries, but they've got quality players still. I mean, Willian is a very good player.
Fantastic.
Coutinho is a good player.
Massive form for Liverpool.
So what I was saying, Felipe Luis, and good players all over the park. You know, so no excuses.
I was thinking maybe
no excuses.
You know, Brazilian players have a way of being, you know, too emotional when it comes to games. Now, we understand that Raul Rudia's goal was more like a handball or whatever.
Yes.
But then, that was 16 minutes remaining. So I expected them to make use of the last 10 minutes. I mean, the first 5 minutes, fumes and get angry and all that. Yeah. But the last few minutes of the game, they should have been able to use that to just try, get something out of that game. By the end of the day, the Brazilians are out of Copa America.
Austin, you saw them in Brazil. This Brazilian side, they lack character. It is very obvious. They lack it.
That's the word.
You know, when their backs are against the wall, they don't know how to fight back.
And lately, it's no more about a team. It's about one player. And everybody wants to do the individual showman thing so that they get signed in Real Madrid, in Barca. Gone are the days when Brazil come together and say, look, it's for national pride and glory. You know?
I think that is even gone. Or maybe their focus is just so much on the Olympics. And, well, I don't know how the fans are going to react if they don't get
to send a strong message to your opponents at the Olympics.
If they couldn't do this now, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
You know, when they get to the Olympics.
Yeah, but the good news for them at the Olympics is they have
Neymar. Okay, I think Neymar can just carry the whole
Neymar can't play
on his shoulders again.
On his young shoulders, yeah.
Wow.
It's too young for that. It's just too young.
Yeah,
Disappointing. I wish Diego Costa decided to play for Brazil. Maybe things could have been different, but he's never at the Euros, you know. He just wasn't even picked for the Spanish national team.
And Brazil is out, so to Uruguay. Uruguay crashed out as well. Yeah, I mean, what's going on with all this big size?
It was understandable. You know what's about the fact that when Suarez is not there, who's going to step up?
Yeah, but that's not good enough.
You talked about Edison Cavani, right? I said Edison Cavani, for Zlatan to just overshadow him at 34, it shows that he can't even step up to it.
So you're saying Edison Cavani is not a top notch?
That's all. He's not
right. He's a bit overhyped, right?
Thank you. That's the word.
I keep saying it. Like when I was on the show the other day, they were talking about Copa America. I said, in South America, nobody respects anything. The moment you see, I said it that when Peru is playing Brazil, they take it upon themselves like it's a World Cup final. You know, because you don't want anybody to come and use you to the bookmakers will say Peru has not beaten Brazil for 8 years or 9 years. Somebody just goes up straight to their business. For Uruguay, same thing. If you can't just put your football on one man. It's not possible.
That's why it's a team sport.
Mexico, Venezuela, Argentina already, they've all qualified. Even USA.
The USA,
when they bounced back. After losing their first game, they bounced back. They came out strong, you know, tied on 6 points with Colombia, you know, and then actually topped the group. Very
good quarterfinals now, so we'll see what's going to happen in Panama, and the others are definitely going to join them later. That's tomorrow. There's some games to be played tomorrow. Okay, Austin.
Clint Dempsey doing all he can for the Americans. And he's still
powering up. Nothing but a number, Austin. It's about mind.
Flipping continue trying to tell me what is William trying to say.
I mean, these are all young players, you know, so.
So that's the story coming from the Copa America. Brazil, yes, I'll say it again, Brazil has crashed out of this year's Copa America. What a story in sports. Anything can happen. Let's get you talking now. Sports This Morning on Channels TV. You can talk to us on Twitter or Channels_Sports, Facebook or Channels IF Sports. Email is sportsthismorning@channelstv.com in Nigeria. It is double tragedy. The football house, football fans, football followers, everyone involved mourning the death of late coach Stephen Keshi and, of course, Tribal Amadou. What a story. Just 3 days interval. Amadou Shaibu spoke to us on this program last week, Wednesday. Was paying tribute to Coach Stephen Keshi on Saturday. He died. Let's use the hashtag. Let's show some love. Let's give respect to those men. They've done everything they can to develop football in Nigeria. The hashtag is Amadou Keshi. Let's get some love out there for their families. We also talked about the OQTs starting, the D-Tigress. Let's use the hashtag D-Tigress. Let's wish them all the best. They need to pick tickets to the 2016 Rio Olympics. We also talked about the Copa America. Use the hashtag, talk about Uruguay out, Brazil out, America. What a good show of character. They bounced back and they still power on at the competition. We'll also talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. So much went down over the weekend. We'll talk about it. And, of course, all that is getting you and I involved in your ever-busy, money-spinning, action-packed world of sports. Guys, let's come back. Not a good one. Cecilia, you were not here last week, Wednesday, but I was following everything you were saying. It's nothing but just tragic that Stephen Keshi no more. Amadou Shaibu now history. Wow.
You know, when I heard Stephen Keshi's story on Wednesday morning, it was like a blank for the whole day. We couldn't even tweet, couldn't say it, because I was not wondering how you're able to get I actually envy you guys, watching from home and everything, how you're able to, get that courage, sum up everything to be able to, talk about him the way you guys did and everything. When you're looking at some great people in Nigerian football, there's some names you definitely that will keep appearing. Since 2002, right? Coach Amadou Shaibu, 4 times he coached the Super Eagles. He has done so much. There's a name I actually gave him, Guzhindik of Nigeria, because anytime, the Super Eagles are having issues and all that is a problem, he's called upon. And of course, he always rescues them. Anytime he take over the team, they get to qualify for the Nations Cup. And even at that time when Sonolis actually left on the world, bring a model, he should be able to, qualify this team for this championship and all that. All of us actually wanted that, but he just didn't want the job because he felt, man, it's been a long time, he needs to relax, and just, that position was occupied with Nigerian Football Federation, which was a bit more, exactly, the pressure is not there and everything and all that. And the fact that it actually, signed the condolence register, of Coach Stephen Keshi and everything. So we're like, okay, this is a man who feels he will always be there. Keshi is gone now. We also have someone we can always call upon, with the national team. But suddenly, we heard on Saturday morning when the news broke that he slept and he just didn't wake up. It's just a pity at that time, according to report from the family. So he's complaining about chest pain.
Yeah,
the doctor was, called upon. They checked him, you know, they did their prayers, he finished eating and everything. He slept. And in the morning, 4 a.m., when he was, you know, went to his bedroom to wake him up for the morning prayers, you know, he was gone. He was no more. It's someone that would definitely, you know, miss. It's someone that when you can't talk about Nigerian football without just mentioning this man's name. There's actually a report on him done by Austin O'Connor, you know, well, that's the Beria report. Let's just take a look at this. Just, you know that Amodu definitely will always remain with us, and knowing that, well, the Super Eagles, it's what the Super Eagles is because of what he did for Nigerian football.
This is the country home of the former Super Eagles coach Shuaibu Amodu in the Ido area of Ukbula in Esako East local government area of Edo State. Sympathizers converged on the compound since the news of his demise broke, and as if to confirm their worst fears, the ambulance conveying his remains from Benin City, the Edo State capital, arrives, and family members struggle to keep their emotions in check.
He's too good a man, he's too kind.
Before long, preparations for his burial commenced in line with the Islamic religion, and the governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, NFF Secretary General, joined his family members at a prayer led by the chief imam of Okpila. His remains is lowered into his grave. With pains etched on their faces, some sympathizers paid tributes to the departed tactician.
I think Amodu will be remembered and appreciated more now in death, maybe than when he lived, because he took Nigeria to the highest level in football. Whether his allowances were paid or not paid were always a matter for speculation, but his commitment to the game was never questioned. His leadership ability was never in doubt, and his accomplishments are well in our records.
We have lost one of our best hands as far as coaching career is concerned in Nigeria. This should serve as a reminder to all of us. We know, all of us, we know that we are going to die, but when it will come is what we don't know. We need to, be closer to God all the time.
His family members recall the last interactions with him.
He always tells me the one thing, that I should forget the fact that he's famous or another, that I have to work hard. He worked hard. He tried his possible best to make sure that he puts food on the table for me and my siblings.
He's just like a tree at the backyard of the house that has just fallen down. And hero has gone. But there is nothing we can do, because it's God that giveth and it's him that taketh. And it's him that will please us again.
Before leaving the compound, Governor Shumule takes time out to console the mother of Coach Shuaibu and other members of his family. Considered one of the finest coaches the nation has ever produced, Shuaibu Amodu's resume as a football coach is outstanding. He led the defunct BCC Lions of Boko in Benue State to domestic as well as continental honors, and later moved to coach El Kanemi Warriors FC, 3SC, Orlando Pirates of South Africa, as well as the nation's senior national team, the Super Eagles.
Rest in peace, Coach Shuaibu Amodu. So that's the Tayo. You were here last week, Wednesday. We spoke to him. He was full of life. He was, giving glowing tribute to Coach Stephen Keshi 3 days after he left.
No, Austin, you can just imagine what the shock, the shock to the system. I mean, it was paying his tribute, to Keshi, and a few days after his normal as well. So it's just tragic. That's the only word I can think of right now. But Austin, Cecilia, what I just want to say is hopefully, that horrible week is well and truly behind us now. Yeah. That horrible week for Nigerian football, is over. We don't get to hear, or see or witness anything like this, for a long time to come.
Wow. Definitely, we just hope it's over, and of course we just not see this kind of thing again. Sanusi, Somit Hobi says, all of us are going to die, but when, it's what we really don't know. But we just hope and pray that most of our legends that are among us should also live up to the time. 75 and 80, and that, okay, they've actually lived up to that, not just a sudden death, something you really don't prepared for, and it's just coming in on you. Our condolences go to Nigerian Football Federation, losing 2 great coaches in 4 days. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine how they must have been feeling now. It's really shocking.
Let's get you talking. Tayo said a horrible week we need to forget. Let's use the hashtag no more deaths. That's what we've been preaching since Saturday when we heard this tragic news. No more deaths for football in Nigeria. Hashtag no more deaths. We've said nobody will not lose anybody again. In fact, in sports in Nigeria. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk some more.